Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. Jeff Iafredi joining me this morning.
How's it going?
Alex Westfall. Sam Fisher, better known as Fish.
Good day, everybody.
Hope you're all doing great. Wednesday, downtown Birmingham.
Yep.
It's absolutely freezing outside.
It is.
And no matter how long I've lived in this state, which is basically most of my life, I will never get used to this weather. Till I die.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Agreed.
Nothing will ever prepare me to walk out. And it's -4 Celsius.
I had 2 coats on, and my face felt like it was burning.
I love you going the Celsius route. I figured you would. I figured you would. Hell yeah.
I do military time and
I know you do military time.
the metric system.
Oh,
so,
yes. You're my guy.
Fish, there's something about living overseas that changes.
That made my
changes
day.
your mind. You're
Just
welcome,
end the show
Fish.
right now.
End the show.
Yep.
That's it. You're done.
maybe-
You've had your fulfillment for the day.
cashed out.
Yep. That made
All
my
right.
day.
We got to talk some sports. We got a jam-packed show again. What do you know?
We do.
I'm looking forward to this. Pistons obviously played last night.
Yep.
The Rams made a statement, improving to 10-4, now tied atop the NFC West with the Arizona Cardinals, who famously not only lost to the Detroit Lions, but have yet to post the final score graphic, but that's a whole different conversation. We need to go around the league. MVP frontrunners. Do we have the wrong narrative going around the league right now in terms of MVP? I think we do. But let's get started with the Pistons. Jeff, Pistons fall 105-91 to the
Yeah.
Knicks. It was never close. It was never going to be pretty. That wasn't even a good when you see a Knicks team play, you're like, oh, all right, it's going to be a gritty game.
Yep.
High 90s, low 100s.
They had that identity.
And it's like, oh, okay. But you look at it, and if you don't watch the game, 105-91, you'd be like, all right, makes sense. They're tough on defense. Great. No, Pistons just missed every shot and every opportunity to score a basket.
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham, probably his worst game, I want to say, in 10, 12, 15 games, easily.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that wasn't even his worst in terms of decision-making. He just couldn't hit a shot. 2 of 13 from the field. I believe he only took 2 threes. So it's not like he was jacking up shots like he was in the early part of the year. He was getting to the basket, some jumpers, floaters. I didn't mind it. But Jeff, what the hell happened last night?
Well, I'll start with this. Obviously, no Dwayne Casey out for personal reasons, so obviously prayers to him and his family for whatever's going on in his situation. But with the team itself, I mean, it's been the same thing every single game watching this Pistons team. And I know they don't have Jeremy Grant. I know they don't have Kelly. They didn't have Killian last night. But this team can't shoot. And if you're starting to realize that now, then you're a little bit too late. And, I mean, the thing about Cade, and he did have a bad game, 5 turnovers, didn't shoot the ball efficiently. I thought he did a good job staying involved, even though obviously the shots weren't falling. And that's really how you define a good player to me. I mean, Cade's special. I mean, that's really what I took. I mean, the 5 turnovers, yeah, he made some ill-advised errors, but you really can define a star in the NBA by what you are when shots aren't falling. And you're going to have off nights through 82 games. That's a given, especially as a rookie. And Cade finds ways to not only create shots, he had a beautiful pass to Corey Joseph for a 3-ball, went up for a layup, pumped it, and threw it behind his head. And just watching that, to me, it shows, okay, this guy can make an impact on the floor. He can be on the floor at all times. And even if he's not shooting very efficiently, he's still going to play hard on both sides of the ball, and that's really a threat on both sides of the ball. And despite an overall record right now of 5-25, it's been a treat to really watch Cade and watch, that's really the positive thing you're taking from this. But once the Pistons find a way to surround him with talent, obviously right now, multiple guys out with injury, but even if Jeremy and Kelly were here, they'd probably still lose that game. So once you find a way to either, through the draft, through free agency, really find talent around Cade, because the only guy getting his own shot last night was Hamidou Diallo. And I got to give him credit, because this is a guy that Dwayne Casey didn't play until about 15 games in. And, he had the whole, debacle where he tried subbing him in. He refused to go in. Now he's in the starting rotation. He looks good. So that's really what I've changed. I mean, my opinions haven't changed on this team. No consistent three-point threat, no size or rim protection. Not many guys can create their own shot, like I just said, besides besides Hamidou, a couple other guys. And you need guys to do that because it alleviates that shot-creating pressure off of Cade. I mean, he feels like he's the offense. He makes this thing go. He's the engine on this team. And when he's turning the ball over and he's not shooting very good, the Pistons didn't clear 90 points. Now, mind you, Sadiq didn't shoot very well either. It was just an off night. I mean, when you got a bunch of young guys playing in Madison Square Garden, the pressure's there, obviously, but they have a lot of work to do in the offseason. Troy Weaver, he's got to get to work, man, the pen and the pencil, and at least do the draft of free agency. You don't have to go all out, but you got to start finding pieces around Cade because right now with this team, I mean, assuming Jeremy Grant gets dealt, you're probably going to end up relying on a top 2, top 3 pick this year, and hopefully they make some noise of free agency. But what I took out of this game, man, is just this team is got some work to do, a lot of work to do, because not only do they have multiple positional needs, but they got to surround Cade with more guys who can just shoot the ball.
There was a fundamental issue last night.
Definitely.
With the rotation, in my opinion. How does your backup power forward and your backup center combined for 21 minutes, and then the guards on the bench combined for a whopping 60 minutes? That's a problem. And the Knicks play pretty... I don't want to say the Knicks are tall or that they play big, but they have a respectable big man.
Yeah.
You have to give them that. And the 21 minutes between Trey Lyles and Luka Garza, don't get it. Coaching issue, rotation issue, game plan issue, I'm not sure. But that's just really bad. I don't even like that. And you know what's funny? When Trey Lyles was on the court, they actually looked really good. He had 13 points. Yeah. He was the only one that finished with a plus-minus that was higher outside of Magruder, which was really odd, honestly.
Yeah, it was. It was odd.
It's way too many minutes. And, yeah, I didn't like the way the Pistons played. They played too small.
Yeah.
They had this, like, three and gun it mentality. Although if you look at the box score, what they take 32 threes, 33.
You still can't shoot.
If you're hitting 26%, you probably shouldn't be taking that many threes. Get to the basket, get to the foul line, get cheap free throws. But again, I actually think they missed Killian last night.
Definitely.
I think they missed a guard on the court who could defend, who could keep these games 2, 3, 4 possession games just on defense, not even on offense.
Yeah, they need another playmaker as well.
And I love what you brought up about Cade. He played 33 minutes. Yes, he only gave you 7 points, but gave you 9 rebounds and 8 assists. Now, what do you do for me when you struggle? He did a decent job. Now, it's not to absolve him from probably his worst game of the year, maybe, but
right.
The point is, I can see what's happening with Cade, his evolution, his development. I don't know what a good rotation for this team looks like. All I know is that Trey Lyles, in the 17 minutes he gave you 13 points, and you weren't losing really bad because he was on the court.
Mm-hmm.
How he doesn't justify 25, 26 minutes is beyond me. You pointed out Diallo, 10 points, 6 rebounds. That was nice. 5 steals, though.
Yeah, he's a problem in defense.
So, get the players on the court who give you the best opportunity to win. That's my theory. And let them grow together. And build a rotation that you can think of a year, 2 years down the line. It'll be very similar. It may not be all the same because we're going to make changes, of course. But who are the core fundamental players here? And then who are the role players? And what are their roles? What are their responsibilities? That's what you need to be identifying right now in this rebuild. Not, we're 5-25. We got to fire Dwayne Casey. Firing Dwayne Casey is the least of your problems, right?
Yeah. You got way more issues.
Like, it's for me, it's totally out of bounds. It's not even relevant to any conversation we have about the Pistons this year. And it's not to absolve Dwayne Casey, but he's a proven coach. He's proven he can win multiple 50-win seasons in the Eastern Conference. You have a team full of young players, willing to be patient with it, but get the rotations right. That's unacceptable for me. I don't get it, Jeff.
No, and I don't get it. And I think that's the biggest part of this season. Obviously, you're 5-25. The takeaway by the end is who's going to be a part of this organization, not only next year, but the years to come. And I only can identify a couple guys, especially now. Like Hamidou needs to return, obviously. But, Jeremy might be on his way out this season. Who knows? Trey Lyles, Corey Joseph, Frank Jackson, I'm assuming will be here as well. But that's really the job for him this year. And that comes in Troy Weaver's hands, is just deciding. And you're right about the rotation. I get Dwayne Casey's out. Assistant coaches obviously taking over that role. But even when Dwayne Casey's the head coach and he's out there, they can never seem to way to find a rotation. So they'll figure it out, though. Obviously, they're a long ways away. I think, if we had to do the rankings, we had this team right above the Lions slightly. So they got a big offseason, and we agree on that mutually. They got a lot of work to do.
Fair enough. I do agree. A lot of work to be done. I just want to see the rotations be handled responsibly and correctly.
Yeah.
Having said that, we got to go to break. When we get back, Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams handled business last night. Defense looked really good. Cooper Kupp had another game. And somebody had fantasy football implications last night in his quarterfinal matchup. And what I will say is, it was a tough night for me last night. It's tough for me to watch Stafford get about 20 points. We'll get to it after the break. But, Jeff, before we go, could you please tell everybody about Northwestern Tech?
You listen, guys, everybody's providing opportunities. Northwestern Tech, great opportunity for you, because Northwestern Tech provides you an opportunity to start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. You can learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Opinions are like ear holes, and we're putting ours in yours.
Well, that's not winning, joint.
It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Whether you're watching live, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or you're listening in on the Woodward Sports app, which is free and available to download on the Apple and Google Play Store. Thank you so much for tuning in. Matthew Stafford and the Rams last night, entering 9-4, playing the Seattle Seahawks at home. Must-win game for them. And, of course, they handle business. A 20-10 win. Probably, I think, their best defensive performance collectively. A sketchy call at the end of the game. But what I will say is my takeaway last night was this team is starting to develop into what they are. Fundamentally sound offensively in terms of running the ball, protecting the quarterback, although they did get to Stafford a few times last night. Ability to hit the big plays downfield. And, of course, immense, beyond great defensive line play. Aaron Donald, a menace again, double, triple teamed all night, gets another sack, stuffs the running back multiple times at the line of scrimmage and behind the line of scrimmage. It was
Von Miller too was out there.
Von Miller, even Floyd had a good game. Jalen Ramsey did a good job against DK Metcalf. That was a good game. And I think if you're looking at it from a Rams perspective, you're optimistic, Jeff.
Yeah, you are. You got arguably two guys in the MVP race. You got Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp that possibly could both be up there. So this team is rolling, man. They're rolling.
What'd you make of last night's game?
Oh, last night's game, really what I made of it is watching Matthew. I'm not entirely surprised what I saw to Matthew. Obviously tough, made throws down the field. Great throws, especially to Cooper Kupp. The second touchdown he threw to him in the fourth quarter, I think it was at 10 minutes left. It was a beautiful throw, big-time throw, big momentum score, especially in the point of that game. But he just obviously poised, especially in the pocket. Like, you notice how often that pocket was collapsing last night for the Rams. And Stafford's in there. You could barely see him, all the Seahawks uniforms around him, and all you see is completion. That's what you were used to seeing out of Matthew. Toughness, gritty, accurate. The guy, what was he, 21 for 29? Besides really the one interception to Quandre Diggs, which line-on-line crime a little bit, and it was just an off throw, obviously. That besides the interception, I mean, he played a pretty damn good game. And I think the Rams especially, they're a dangerous team, especially because they're getting Darrell Henderson back. I mean, they had Sony Michel, they had Darrell Henderson. Now they have a 1-2 punch that they can really use and kind of work off that play action, and you've saw it last night, opened up a ton for Cooper Kupp. So this offense, man, I haven't even gotten to the defense. I mean, like you just said, Floyd, Von Miller, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. They have safeties. I mean, this team all around is complete, and I think teams now are starting to realize, like, what I took from the game is I was impressed with the Rams, but more so looking at the Seahawks, because what are we, 2 games left in the season, 3 games, and the Seahawks still don't have an identity. I don't know what they are as a football team. And that's not even saying what Russell Wilson missing games. I get he was out for a couple weeks, but even prior to that, they can't run the football, and I get Chris Carson's out, but they don't commit to running the football. They can't. Their offense looks anemic, or it just looks disgusting. And I've seen this all year with them, and I thought they brought in the quarterback coach of the Rams last year for Russell Wilson. You're kind of hoping innovative, young, change the offense up, but it's the same old Seattle Seahawks, man, and they're going to have a big decision, John Schneider, at the end of the year. You're either going to roll with Russell Wilson, because hopefully he does not ask out, or you're going to have to fire Pete Carroll. Well, that regime, I feel like, is slowly coming to an end. Slowly.
I like that. Come over to the dark side, Jeff. I like that.
It was disgusting. I mean,
something happened last night that was very difficult for me. And I really want all of you to be patient with me this morning, because it's my story. And it means a lot to me. This is my fantasy football league that I am in. A quarterfinal matchup. My team had taken a complete dump. Kyler Murray, 14 points. Michael Pittman, 1 point. Got ejected. Najee Harris, 4 points. It was a tough weekend for me of football. And going into Tuesday, I had a 21% chance to win. He had Matthew Stafford and Matt Gay, who finished with 20 and 10. And my only sliver of hope was Cooper Kupp. And that son of a gun went off for 37.7 points. And my defense got me 12. And this guy is going to the semifinals. And if I could swear this morning, my goodness, oh my God, how good that felt. I was trying to be humble last night. I wasn't trying to blow up anybody's phones. I really wasn't. I was trying to save it for the show. I didn't want to be totally... No, I don't care. I'm in the semifinals, baby.
What a comeback.
We're talking thousands of dollars on the line here. Comeback, Cooper Kupp, clear MVP of the season. Oh my God. Oh my God. Cooper, I love you, buddy. I love you, man. Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
That's clutch.
I haven't felt this good since Michigan won the Big Ten title. Oh my God. Yeah, I could die today from a sickness. I don't care. Nothing can ruin my day. There is absolutely nothing that can throw me off today. I feel like a gingerbread man, I swear to God. I don't even know what they feel like, but if there was some example of it, it's Christmas time. Damn it, I'm using that analogy.
How much were you down going into the game?
I was down.
How much were you?
I was down 7 points.
Okay.
And I had a defense and Cooper Kupp. He scored 10, which means I was down 37.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp covered that shit. Then my defense, of course, added the cherry on top. How about that? That felt great. Oh, my goodness.
Who do you think you are?
The amount of stress I had for those 3 hours of football, I can't even begin to explain. Oh, my goodness.
It was a low scoring game, but Kupp just was eating, man. I mean, God.
How good it feels to win.
We might as well. The morning show is in the Woodward Sports.
That is right. We're gonna get to that at 9:41.
We gotta get to that later. It's gonna be good.
There are 2 people that do the show that are in the Woodward Sports final in terms of fantasy football.
Boo!
So, yeah, boo it all you want, Fish. You just don't like it. You just don't like it, just like everybody else. Having said that, God bless you, Cooper Kupp. We're gonna get to the MVP conversation because I really believe Cooper Kupp has a case for it. But having said that, last night that looked like vintage Rams. Good defensive play. Sony Michel ran the ball really well. Yeah. Darrell Henderson still getting his feet under him, coming off the injury. No Tyler Higbee last night. Keep that in mind. I don't want to botch the receiver's name. Number 18 starts with an S.
Yeah.
The other white wide receiver outside of Cooper Kupp. I don't know his name. It starts with an S. I apologize. I don't want to botch it. Don't even try. Sporanic.
I was going to try.
I'm not even going to bother.
Not even going to try. Let's call him Ben.
He was available multiple times. Van Jefferson had a few catches. Odell Beckham had a few catches. But the clear star, the clear engine of that football team is Cooper Kupp. And when Robert Woods got hurt, I think we all paused and said, this is going to be impossible to overcome even with Odell Beckham. And you know what? They're looking pretty good. They don't look anemic on offense. And the throw Stafford made to Cooper Kupp, the second touchdown, that was an elite, great NFL level throw. There's no better throw you can make. He was covered.
Yeah, he was in traffic.
He was not open. He threw him open by 2 inches. Kupp went up and got it. They found the mismatch, and he walked into the end zone. Ball game. Ball game. Love it. Stafford and the Rams look really good. For me, looks like Packers Los Angeles is starting to look like the NFC Championship game.
I'd agree with you.
Sorry, wildcard teams. Sorry. That's the team I see. But we got a few minutes. I do not want to leave without talking about Washington and Philly last night. Philly won 27-17. They take over the wildcard spot number 7 in the NFC. Jeff, I'll start with this. That was the first time I was genuinely impressed with Jalen Hurts. He didn't fold under pressure. He had all the reasons to turn the ball over, which he made a few mistakes. His team had given up inopportune, basically costly scores that made the game closer than maybe we expected at times. And he still found a way to drive his team down late and used his legs and his arm. He looked really good last night, and that's coming from a guy that I'm still not completely sold on Jalen Hurts, but last night, big step in the right direction.
And I think he feels the pressure a little bit. I mean, Gardner Minshew stepped in there and got him a convincing win. He played exceptional, and that was already coming off weeks where Jalen Hurts didn't look very good. So he felt the pressure coming in this week with 20 for 26. I love that, and I got to comment on Nick Sirianni because his ability to at least recognize, self-reflect. This team didn't commit to running the football for the first 5-6 games of the year. Ever since then, the Eagles know who they are. They're going to pound the football, and their defense is playing exceptional as well. You got Darius Slay out there making plays. So I love what they're doing in at least Philly because they're finding their identity. Like, what are we as a football team? Okay, we have Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, 2 guys that are going to run hard. He gave 18 carries to Miles Sanders, 15 to Jordan Howard. You got Jalen Hurts making plays. So they're a run-first, kind of a resemblance of a Ravens. Like, that's how you want to build around a mobile quarterback. You got Jalen Hurts, build around him, and they're doing a good job of that. Dallas Goedert looked good. So the Eagles, to me, although they have a chance to obviously make it to playoffs, which I think they will. They're 7-7 right now. They have a chance to go above 500, beating a Washington football team who last week the big story was, well, they beat the Cowboys and now they lose 2 straight, obviously without Taylor Heineke. But the Eagles, to me, I respect them because they found their identity. They know exactly what they are, and they're content with going into every football game and running out with their game plan. So the Eagles, to me, they played an exceptional game. Jalen Hurts, I think, is definitely, to me, deserves more time. I know people aren't sold on him, but you'll know.
I'm willing to say that. Yeah. I'll jump on that bandwagon. I'll say you can give him time.
But I love it. I love that they're committed to running the football because it made Jalen that much better over the last couple of weeks.
Miles Sanders has been the X factor.
He has.
And the fact that they didn't, like, Sirianni, for all the mistakes he's made throughout the year, they're 7-7.
Yeah.
For all the mistakes he's made this year, especially even after the game at the podium, he sounds really weird. But, that's a whole different conversation. But having said that, 7-7 with what did we say going into the year, guys? What did national media say? What did Philadelphia media say about Atlanta and Philly? They were bottom 5 rosters. They were in a rebuild. And one of them 6-8 and the other 7-7 in a wild card spot. Unbelievable. Unreal. Good for them. We need to head to break. When we get back, what should the Detroit Lions do about their offensive coordinator position? I don't see them bringing back Anthony Lynn. Are they going to promote internally? Or will they go out and look for the next OC, the young, innovative OC? Or do they have that same guy potentially in their building. We'll talk about that next. Before we go, I got to tell you about my bookie. Guys, my bookie. Bet from anywhere, anytime, using my bookie. Sign up today using code Woodward, and they'll match your deposit dollar for dollar. You put in $100, they'll give you $100. You put in $200, they'll match you and give you $200. Not bad, huh? Football season's around the corner. Here we go. And what I mean by football season around the corner, I mean Thursday night football. It's tomorrow, baby. And I get it Saturday. And
bowl
I
games.
Get it Sunday.
Bowl
and
games.
I just get to keep betting. And bowl games, Fish. Fair enough. You can bet on the bowl games on MyBookie if you want.
Why aren't you a bowl game fan,
I'm
Adam?
not a bowl game guy.
Why?
Because money's involved. Having said that, if you suck at gambling or you bet on bowl games, please call the Gambling Problem Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Show here, that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. It's absolutely freezing outside. I've already mentioned this twice now, just to remind you how cold it is in Michigan.
Stay warm.
What's the temperature, Adam?
Last I checked, Fish, I'll proudly say it was -4 Celsius. I got you, buddy. I got you. I know Fish appreciates that. Having said that, guys, you can check us out on the radio. The morning show is live from 10:30. Excuse me, from 10 a.m.
Yeah, 10 to 12:30.
Monday through Friday. Check us out on the Roar 99.1 FM, 93.5 FM, and 94.7 HD2. What should the Detroit Lions do with their offensive coordinating position? We talked about this yesterday. Promoting Ben Johnson seems to be the right thing to do at the moment. And I would prefer them to get rid of Anthony Lynn and promote somebody internally who's clearly making a significant impact.
Yep, I agree with you.
And I don't care that he doesn't have experience calling a full... Look, this kid is coming up with a passing scheme over the last 3-4 weeks that you haven't seen all year.
With this
the amount of
roster.
ease that it is to make some of these throws because how open people are, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I am going to stand in the corner of promoting Ben Johnson. And for everybody that says Deuce Staley in the chat, stop. Deuce Staley's not the one helping Dan Campbell right now put together the passing game plan. Stop it. Washington let Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, and Matt LaFleur walk out of that building. May I remind you, the Washington football team let Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay, and Kyle Shanahan walk out of that building because Jay Gruden was too good of a head coach. Huh? Too good of a coordinator, offensive-minded coordinator. I would prefer them to take a flyer on the guy internally who has shown he can actually do a pretty decent job. Give him the opportunity. Then go out and we regret another year down the line where he's the OC in Vegas, he's the OC in Seattle. Who knows where he could be? Just my 2 cents. Just my 2 cents.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. And yesterday I was a little hesitant. I came on the show, I was talking about Ben Johnson, and I said, let's just take a chill pill for a second, because I wanted to do my research on Ben. I didn't want to jump on the bandwagon right away, but all last night I was researching Ben. And I wanted to know the brains behind the operation in which he's created the success of this passing game, because obviously we know him as a tight ends coach. We want to do some history, and it's impressive. Let me remind you, Jared Goff, since coming back from that oblique injury, 9 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions, with a passer rating of 105.1. The only quarterbacks with a better passer rating through that stretch, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Matthew Stafford, ironically. It's a pretty good category to be in. And some of that has to do with Josh Reynolds, obviously. It's not all Ben Johnson, but Ben Johnson deserves credit because he was instrumental, not only this year, last couple games, but people forget he was the tight ends coach through T. Jackson's breakout year. I mean, this guy has, guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff can't say enough good things about him, the way he sees the game. I mean, look at this. Since helping out with the pass game, he's already brought more creative ideas, which we preach all the time, more creativity. And look at that 23-yard touchdown catch to Brock Wright in the Minnesota game. He motioned the fullback, pulled the backside guard, got Brock open, and he's a tight ends coach. So he's familiar with the tight ends already. And even, let's go back to last game. How about the player Amon-Ra St. Brown pretending to pass block, leaked away for a 37-yard touchdown? He gave credit to Ben Johnson for that. So this is constant evidence that the Detroit Lions may already have their future offensive coordinator a part of their organization. And yesterday, listen, I made the point that I'm a little hesitant to promote someone within, but I think the point you just made is countered me last night because I was thinking about it. Why not? And why would you let him walk?
What's the risk, right?
What's the risk? There you go.
Detroit, do you actually expect to make the playoffs next year? Realistically, no. Right? Cool. Glad we're on the same page. There's a young man who very well could be. Again, and this is just from, we're not even behind the scenes. And you can see the potential. Do not let potential walk out of your building. I'm telling you guys, Washington. Ask everybody in Washington how they feel right now. What they could be with Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, maybe even a franchise quarterback had they had different people in charge. Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan. You don't let that walk out of your building. Ben Johnson, I'm not saying he is going to be them, but he could be.
And he knows the offense.
He has the potential.
And let me make this point. He knows the offense because this is a guy that not only was a tight ends coach. I looked at his history. Obviously, in Miami, he was with Dan when he was the interim head coach. This is a guy who is an assistant quarterback coach. He's been a wide receiver coach for multiple seasons, tight ends coach. He was a quality control coach for the offense, and now he's a pass game coordinator. So this is a guy that, in my opinion, has done his dues. He's put in the work, and he's covered multiple positions on the offensive side. And this is a guy who was played quarterback in college, wasn't that good of a quarterback, but he's familiar with the position, and that's a great candidate. You just made the point about Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay, those guys, Shanahan. Ben Johnson, not saying he's to that level, but I'm saying is you don't want to take that chance, and I think it's worth it. Give him a chance. You've seen what he can do. Jared Goff is willing to put his name out there for Ben Johnson, so I love it. I'm not going to say he's going to be the next big OC, but I think he's deserving of a shot.
How old is he? 35, turning 36?
Young guy.
Guys, that's what you want. That's what you want. You want a guy that, again, what makes Kyle Shanahan so good? Right? Let's just use him as an example. Oh, well, he's just using his dad's scheme. No, he's not. He took his dad's zone blocking scheme, of course, and the run game, and he revolutionized it to an extent, and then he added the modern game of football in it, and now here you are with the San Francisco 49ers. Already been to a Super Bowl, now 8-6 this year. Sean McVay. They all copycat each other and then add their own twists. And for me, if I can get Ben Johnson in the door, I don't even hesitate. I really don't. I don't care what OCs are available. I don't care about Joe Brady. I don't care about any of these guys. There's somebody internally who's actually making an impact right now. And all I hear is the potential he has. Do not let potential walk out of your door. That's simple. You do not let potential walk straight through your doors. Unacceptable. So yeah, yesterday we brought it up. I don't blame people for being hesitant. I don't mind that. But I think the more you guys look at it, the more you'll understand that, okay, you know what?
Yeah.
There's a really good chance we may drop the ball if we don't promote him. And I saw in the comment section, Anthony Lynn staying next year. Absolutely not. No, he's gone.
Done.
Guys, you don't get demoted at a company and stay. Let's start there, huh? Let's use just common sense real life. You are the head of data for IBM. All right? And then you get demoted to the regional manager of data in the Western Hemisphere. I don't know. I'm just talking here. You don't stay at IBM. People aren't willing to fall from their original position. They aren't. Anthony Lynn is not willing to be an offensive assistant. He's not. People who are managers, leaders, they are 99.9% of the time unwilling to take a step back and go down to, I don't want to say employee level, but the point is, you're not a fit for this position. You're not involved anymore. You're not a fit for this position. You're not involved anymore. And then they stay. They never stay. Because that loss of power, how do you look your coworkers in the face the same? Anthony Lynn walking out there, he used to tell everybody what to do last year. Now this year, he's being told what to do. You think he wants to be a part of that? Nobody does, guys. They're humans. They're humans.
These guys got egos, too. It's just the reality of it. I mean, Anthony Lynn is going to have an opportunity somewhere, whether it's collegially or, I don't think he's going to want to stay, especially, Ben Johnson getting promoted and everything. But Ben Johnson, man, I mean, that's an interesting story. This is a guy who's put in work. So, and credit to JGB for proposing. We talked about this during the mailbag yesterday, and it really is a hot topic right now because, people are already asking the question, when are you going to interview? When is this guy going to get promoted? And, if you keep...
It should be done mid-season. And it should be known from
Don't
now.
let him interview in the offseason.
Yeah, I would do it.
I wouldn't do it either.
I would do it as soon as... I would do it before the season ends.
Yeah.
That's my theory. Having said that, Official Savage with a comment. Lynn was only here to help Dan Campbell find his feet as a head coach. I do apologize. I don't mean to be rude on a Wednesday morning, but no. Anthony Lynn was fired from the Chargers last year because it took a trainer shanking Tyrod Taylor for Anthony Lynn to start Justin Herbert. Think about that. Anthony Lynn has no business. See, I love this about people. People think, oh, well, he has experience doing it. He should be able to tell the current leader how they should be doing it or help him along the way. No. When you fail at something, you have no right to be telling leaders in other departments and groups what they should be doing or giving them advice or giving them tips because you failed. They haven't. We don't need your manipulation and your brainwash on the head coach. You failed as a head coach already. Don't need it. Sorry. I'm not going to back the Lynn is there for support and, get him. No. Although we can all agree he's learning on the job. I don't see it. I don't see how Lynn is offering anything to Dan Campbell right now.
I could see, not to your point, I agree with you because I don't think he's here to, guide Dan Campbell. But I'm sure there's questions just from a former head coach. But yeah, he's not going to guide. You just got fired. He's not going to guide Dan Campbell through what to do on a day-to-day basis. But I'm sure there's a question here or there.
Lynn was hired to be the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's his job.
Not hold Dan Campbell's sack and carry him around Ford Field. He was brought here to be the offensive coordinator and help this offense become a stable, run, play, action, consistent offense.
And he says, but he did draft Herbert. No, Tom Telesco did. But I see what you're saying. I'm sure he was...
Okay, great. He drafted Herbert. He also didn't start him.
Tom Telesco did that. But
even though they see him in practice every day. They see the clear difference between Tyrod Taylor and Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
If they go out and get an OC, I'm not going to flip my lid. Okay? I will say it from now. I will be extremely disappointed, though. When you have talent and potential internally, your chances of succeeding by promoting them are much higher, and it sends a very good message to everybody in the building. Ben Johnson's the new OC? I'm a special teams assistant right now. Maybe I can be a special teams coordinator in 2 years. Maybe I can be this. Maybe it gives everybody in the building a sense of, oh, we're growing here. There's potential here.
True. That is
for me.
Point.
Ben Johnson is the absolute move.
That's the easy answer right there.
Sorry. So.
And I think that's what you want, especially Dan Campbell. Like, you want to build up your coaching tree. I mean, we talked about Aaron Glenn already, in the future expected to get interviews. Now you got Ben Johnson, possibly. I mean, these are young guys. The guys are going to take chances on them. So if you're going to bring in another offensive coordinator, you're very damn well not let Ben Johnson go. Because if you bring in the next one, you let Ben go, you better be sure he's a hit. Because if Ben walks out that door in the first year of Dan's rebuild and he goes somewhere else, let's just say hypothetically, and is successful, we're gonna have a lot to talk about on these airwaves. But until then, I think it's great, man. Reward from within.
So Savage responded regarding Glenn. That doesn't mean he doesn't know how to manage things. Just because he failed doesn't mean he's a bad coach, which I agree. Bill Belichick was fired from Cleveland. He failed there, so that means he was a bad coach. No, that doesn't mean that. And I hate people that use lazy comments like that. No, that doesn't mean Bill was a failure. He took Cleveland to the playoffs, won playoff games. He was not a quote-unquote failure.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out. Anthony Lynn taking over a very good roster,
mediocre,
a top 5 defense in terms of talent, and then going 5-11 and 7-9, back-to-back years after going 9-7 and 12-4. That's going backwards. That's not improving.
That's fireable.
Jim Caldwell was fired for going 11-5, 7-9, 9-7, 9-7. Lynn went 9-7, 12-4, 5-11, 7-9. He wasn't progressing. And it took Tyrod Taylor getting shanked for him to start Justin Herbert. How do you think that made the front office feel? How do you think it made his players feel? Anthony Lynn got fired because of that. Stop it.
What do you think? I see this comment. I know it's kind of just funny to me, the whole Josh Gaddis thing. Josh Gaddis.
No.
Throw some coin at Gaddis.
No, he's not leaving Michigan.
No, yeah.
When Josh Gaddis leaves Michigan, it'll be to pursue a top 15, 20 program job in college football.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't see
him going OC to NFL OC.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
Having said that, I think promoting within is one of the most important things you can do at any company, and I am in full support of promoting Ben Johnson. He's done a very good job. I'd like to see what he does as the full-time offensive coordinator. Do I expect him to have bad games? Absolutely, everybody does.
Right.
Sean McVay calls bad games sometimes. Happens. But do you really want to let him slip out the door and go be the OC somewhere else this offseason? Because the teams are figuring it out. They're saying, wow, Detroit's looked really good after the bye. Oh, Ben Johnson, 35 years old, huh? Oh, you know what? Hey, how about you bring him in here? How about he does OC for us? I want to promote him. Sorry. I don't see an OC out there that's going to make me fall head over heels in love with it. Promote the guy internally. It does wonders for your building. We always talk about culture with the Detroit Lions. You guys love that word. This is a culture move. Promote Ben Johnson. Not Deuce Staley. Promote Ben Johnson. I'm on board for it. We got to go to break. When we get back, MVP frontrunners.
Woo!
Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. The award of the quarterback.
Or is it?
We'll get to that after the break. But before we go, Jeff, could you please tell everybody about Guardian Alarm?
Yes. We talk about defenses and mediocrity. Well, guess what? Guardian Alarm is not mediocre. They'll take care of you. Guardian Alarm, they get it. They got a good defense on and off the field. Helps you feel secure. And Guardian Alarm, they protected all our gifts for us last week for our Stafford studio, and they'll protect you as well. Guardian Alarm has 24/7 local monitoring and also has convenient features that let you check in on your home. You could control lights or temperatures and even detect smoke or carbon monoxide. And it will even let you lock and unlock doors. Call 800. Stay out today. You heard Fish. That's 800. Stay out.
Stay out. Cold weather.
Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it. Spin. Spin. Uh-oh. Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin. Spin. Spin till you bleed.
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Ooh, welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Make sure after the shows you're checking out our podcasts. Once they finish, they go up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, etc., etc. Wherever you can find podcasts, you will likely find the Woodward Sports Network and all of its live content. Check it out. Having said that, NFL MVP frontrunners, let's put it this way. Let's be as transparent as possible. We all know this league is now quarterback driven. We all know the award MVP is similar to the Heisman now, right? Mm-hmm. Quarterback award. Cool. Outside of, I could argue, Aaron Rodgers.
Who I have as my MVP. That's probably the only quarterback.
So I don't have him number one. I don't. So I'm going to give you my, if I'm voting today who MVP is, I'm going to give you my first, second, and third place ballots.
Okay.
First place, Cooper Kupp. Second place, Jonathan Taylor. Third place, Aaron Rodgers. Yep. He has to be.
Top of the NFC?
Look,
right,
again,
I get you.
So, full disclosure.
Yeah.
I won't get mad at anybody saying Aaron Rodgers should be the MVP. Go for it.
Yeah.
Kupp and Taylor are just as, if not more, deserving. Taylor took a 2-5 team. They're now 8-6 on the cusp of clinching a playoff berth.
Yeah. He's definitely
And it's been behind his back. Cooper Kupp not only setting records across the board, first player in NFL history with 10 consecutive games of over 90 receiving yards.
And they're stacking the box against him, and
they're double teaming him. And they're sending a linebacker and a safety at times, and then a nickel corner and a safety. And they're shadowing him. Cooper Kupp for me is the MVP. He's on pace to break Calvin Johnson's receiving record. I understand Aaron Rodgers is playing at a phenomenal level. He's won how many MVPs now? 3? The more MVPs you win, the harder it is just narrative-wise.
Yeah, I understand
LeBron would have more MVPs if it was just about who was the most valuable player that year. Correct?
Correct.
Although Aaron Rodgers deserves to be in the conversation, Jonathan Taylor and Cooper Kupp to me should be 1, 2. Aaron Rodgers 3. If I gave you a 4 and 5, I'd say I'd say Micah Parsons. And 5, Brady, just given his numbers.
Yeah, of course. This MVP conversation to me, like when I ask myself the question, who's the MVP, I look at, the best team, the best player on that team, and obviously being the quarterback helps. So I have Aaron Rodgers at 1, and the reason why is because I looked at his statistics yesterday, and obviously statistics are always going to look good for Aaron. But what impressed me is they started the season getting blown out by the Saints. He had 2 interceptions. Since then, he's 30-2. 30 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, playing exceptional football. The one game he missed, they lost by a score with Jordan Love in there. If Aaron Rodgers in that game, it's a different story. And I think, to me, that helps his case because he's so valuable to that team. But I get what you're saying. If I had to do a 1 through 3, I would do Aaron Rodgers 1. I would do Jonathan Taylor. I would probably put him 2, just because of his dominance. And then Cooper Kupp is probably tied.
Why are we so unresponsive in the chat in terms of Cooper Kupp getting MVP? Wide receivers don't win MVP. Matthew Stafford over Cooper. Why? Why is that? What's going on? What's the problem with a wide receiver winning MVP? You wouldn't be saying this about Calvin Johnson if he was putting up these numbers, which he did at one moment in time, but not the amount of receptions. Cooper Kupp has 122 receptions, 1,625 yards, and 14 touchdowns. There are 3 games left in the year. Do you guys understand what's happening here? Please? Somebody? Setting records across the board, and we're going to brush it aside and say, well, he plays the wide receiver position. It's not a position you award the MVP to. Why? Robert Woods went down, which was a significant injury. And he is still finding a way to produce when now it's easier for teams to double him and get him out of the game.
100%.
I don't get it.
And I asked you this.
And when you play the Colts,
yeah.
What's your job as a defensive coordinator and a team going and playing against the Colts?
Stack the box.
Stack the box and stop Jonathan Taylor. Can't stop him. Not discrediting Aaron Rodgers. But I'm sorry. Someone has to give the adequate amount of praise and recognition to these two players. They are having a phenomenal year, and I understand it's easier for quarterbacks to win the award. I don't care. For me, Kupp and Taylor should be 1 and 2, and then Rodgers 3. What were we going to say, Jeff? I'm sorry.
No, I was going to bring up the point. I think it's interesting because you've been on Cooper Kupp all year, so this isn't your first time saying this. You've said this game, week 3? I
said it week 3 or 4 that he should be in the MVP
week
conversation.
3. And so we had this conversation, and I asked you this question. I think people are asking it in the comments. I think it's a fair question, is the Matthew Stafford side of the equation. You know, the wide receivers can't win MVP because who's throwing them the football? And I agree with you, though. Wide receivers, his dominance it explains itself. If you watch his film, you understand why he's in the MVP conversation. But what do you say to that narrative? That, well, Matthew's throwing him the ball, so
Fair.
How can Cooper be in there and without Stafford?
I don't think Matthew Stafford is playing at the level of Aaron Rodgers, although he's close. So how am I going to put Kupp, Taylor, and then Rodgers? And then maybe I'll put Stafford at 4 or 5.
Right.
I'm willing to say that. 10 and 4. If they win the division, absolutely, you can have that conversation. But I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers, what him and Matt LaFleur have done in their 3 years together is absolutely unbelievable. 13 and 3, 13 and 3, and now what? 11 and 3?
Yeah, 11 and 3.
Unbelievable. Aaron Rodgers deserves to be in the MVP conversation. But again, if there was ever a year to award it to a non-quarterback, guys, this is the year. No quarterback from week 1 to week 17 has controlled the narrative. Not even Aaron Rodgers. Although he's been up and down in the conversation, he missed a game.
Right.
Yeah, like Kupp and Taylor, week 1 and week 17 will be their most valuable player, their most valuable asset. And for me, I think it's time you award one of them the award. Whether it's Taylor or Kupp, I would be more than happy. Set a precedent. When these guys play at the level they're playing in, they deserve to be recognized, not just with an Offensive Player of the Year. And obviously, Aaron Rodgers is more important to the Packers. Guys, that's not the conversation. Quarterbacks are always more important than anything. We always talk about how you need a quarterback or you have nothing. Look at all the teams that just suck. They don't have a quarterback. Okay? Having said that, Cooper Kupp and Jonathan Taylor deserve to be neck and neck with Aaron Rodgers, if not above them, in my opinion.
And I agree with you. And what makes me a little ticked off about the whole running back conversation, especially with Jonathan Taylor, is if we look at Derrick Henry's year last year and we get the 2,000 yards, that speaks for itself. The Titans won their division, went 11-5, and he was clearly the best player on his team.
Okay.
And I get he was in their conversation with Aaron, like Jonathan is now. But if anyone was going to win that MVP, why wasn't it Derrick last year? That's what I didn't get. This guy was so dominant on an 11-5 football team. The Colts aren't going to go 11-5.
What wide receiver in the NFL right now is catching both of those passes? No, all 3 of those passes that Cooper Kupp last night caught. The 42-yard catch, the 35-yard catch, and then the touchdown, the second touchdown. Excuse me. Who? Who's playing at a better level right now than Cooper Kupp? And then my good friend, Detroit MI 1990. Jared Goff didn't have Cooper Kupp looking that good. Different quarterback situation. Don't try to disregard Matthew Stafford's numbers. My friend, you know why Matthew Stafford is not in the MVP conversation? Because they went 3 weeks playing absolutely terrible. And Cooper Kupp consistently played well. This is an award based on consistency and value. Matthew Stafford the last 3 weeks has looked really good. I will definitely give him that. And he's peaking at the right time. But don't sit here and tell me that you're just going to totally gloss over the 3-week stretch where he looked really bad and think that he deserves more of a case than Aaron Rodgers, who has been way more consistent than him all season. Not disregarding Matthew Stafford's numbers. Putting it into perspective. Because you won't listen. That is the problem. You guys need to remember, just because it's the normal thing to do to give the quarterback an award for MVP doesn't mean you should. You have to remember, and Adrian Peterson ran for an MVP year, 2,000 yards. Jonathan Taylor's scoring touchdowns at a pace we haven't seen since LaDainian and Tomlinson. That's historic. Cooper Kupp setting records, historic. I don't know how we're going to sit here on a Wednesday morning and not at least accept the fact that Cup, Taylor, and Rodgers are probably your 3 front runners? Don't get it. Don't get it. I really don't.
We'll see. I think he's earned the conversation to be in there. Definitely. Do I think Cooper Kupp will win it? No, but he put respect on his name. I think it's
not
definitely
about respect. Okay, so he had a down week. You geniuses. 11 catches, 95 yards against Tennessee. They lost. 11 catches, 122 yards against San Francisco. They lost. 7 catches, 96 yards against Green Bay. They lost. Shut the hell up. Stop. What are you trying to do? Do you want me to bring up the amount of interceptions Stafford threw in that 3-week stretch? And I'm sitting here defending Stafford all season. You clueless idiots. Listen instead of talking. Everyone is so quick to talk in this world today. Nobody ever listens. Matthew Stafford's playing at an elite level, top 3, top 4 right now. That is not the conversation. The conversation is who's the most valuable player in the NFL. Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Rodgers, and Cooper Kupp right now are the 3 leading names in my opinion. And if you want to throw Stafford in there, fine. But he's behind all of them right now. Cooper Kupp is the engine of that offense just as much as Matthew Stafford is. Jonathan Taylor is the offense in Indianapolis. Aaron Rodgers is everything to the Green Bay Packers. Nonsense. What are we doing here? Funky. I love you, buddy. He did not have a bad game. 11 catches, 95 yards. 11 catches, 122 yards. 7 catches, 96 yards. Or 90 yards, excuse me. One of the two. Where's the bad game? 10 straight games with 90 yards or more. Where's the bad game? Please. I'm asking. A good wide receiver in a given year averages 67 to 71 yards per game. That'll get you anywhere from 11 to 1,200 yards a season. I don't get it. Adam, so 2 dropped first downs are good because he had catches and a loss. Just all the game matters. I'll give you the drops. Those were drops. He didn't look like himself that game. Absolutely, but neither did Stafford and neither did the entire team. And that's not a reason why he should play bad. No, absolutely. But to sit there and say he had bad games, what, because he dropped a few passes in a game where they were already down by 2-3 scores? And may I remind you that the drop passes that you're referring to, if you want to watch back the Tennessee game, that sideline throw to him, he had to turn around and reach for it low, which Cooper Kupp usually catches it, right? You're spoiled by his excellence.
Right.
He dropped him. God forbid.
He's human.
God forbid. He has 2 drops, 3 drops on the year. Not the MVP anymore. Like that's what I'm not following here. That's what I'm not getting here with you guys. So we got to go to break. When we come back, does Jared Goff have a future in Detroit? Top of the hour, 9 o'clock here on the Morning Woodward Show. Excited for it. But before we go, Jeff, could you tell everybody where they can get their haircuts?
Yes, Lady Jane's. Fellas, let's be honest. Football season is upon us, and it's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play on the beautiful TVs they have. I'm looking at them right now. They got SportsCenter up for you. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime because it is wicked awesome.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Detroit Sports on Demand.
DeAndre Swift, he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Open in the corner, he tripled.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app today. Take us with you everywhere you go. Search Woodward Sports Network or WSN Live.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. 9 o'clock in the morning, top of the hour. So happy to have you guys here. Great guests lined up next week. Jake Butt, live, 9 o'clock-ish next Thursday to preview the Michigan-Georgia game. College football playoff talk all next week. So excited for it. Tomorrow, Lions talk. Got to preview the game on Sunday against Atlanta. Lions pregame show and postgame show live on Sunday as well. So much to do this weekend. I'm so excited for it. Having said that, Pat, I do want to get this out of the way. I don't think Tom Brady's ahead of Stafford too, even with that shutout. It's too recent. It's way too recent. Tough argument to make. They have the same record. But let's move on. Does Jared Goff have a future in Detroit? And I thought long and hard about this. So to me, no. Bridge quarterback. Absolutely not. I don't see a future where you want to build around Jared Goff.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
That's what we're defining as future,
right?
5 years.
So where do you want your franchise to be in 3 to 5 years?
Yep.
I don't want it anywhere near Jared Goff. Having said that, now that I got my opinion out of the way, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
If Brad Holmes sees through the remainder of Jared Goff's contract. And not only does that, maybe signs him to a 1-year deal, 2-year deal, if he continues to play at a similar level. Do you know what I mean? It is fascinating to me how narrative changes so quickly in today's world. And I think social media plays a big part. We're so quick to react to everything. Every little thing, guys. We're so quick to react. Jared Goff has his first good game. Real good game. Complete game, I should say. And over the last 4 weeks, he has a passer rating of 105.1.
Yeah.
And we all forget early on in the year, and then Thanksgiving Day, and then Pittsburgh. Which is fine. But I don't want him being the future. And I don't think he is the future. Now, if I'm correct, Jeff, Jared Goff's contract expires in 2024. Am I correct? Or 2023?
Yep. Yeah,
it is 2024.
Yes.
So, guys, you can get rid of Cooper Kupp at the end of next season.
Jared Goff.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Too much Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Sorry, guys, I won fantasy. I'm all Cooper Kupp today. Anyways, you can cut ties with Jared Goff at the end of next year. No penalty. Well, it's not as bad of a penalty. Having said that, what makes you think he doesn't stick around for the last season? And I'm asking everybody at home. You want to call in and tell me? You want to chat? Be my guest. 313-552-6322. D-Mac, could you put it in the chat, please? 313-552-6322. If I told you Jared Goff plays at 70% of the level he played on Sunday, one, would you want him as the future? And question number two, do you see him sticking around? Do I want him as the future quarterback? No. Do I believe it's not out of the realm of possibility that he stays throughout his duration of his contract? I could totally see it. If he plays at a pretty decent level well into next year, everybody in the building is going to be saying, why are we going to draft a quarterback? We're a few more pieces around, and we're going to have a stud roster, and we can win with this kid. I've seen it. We did it in Los Angeles. I'm just telling you the mentality of what I think could happen. If he wins 6-7 games next year, don't be surprised if they keep him around.
Yeah.
And maybe they draft a quarterback. And maybe, like what we discussed earlier on in the week, or I want to say it was last week, the Patrick Mahomes scenario, where you have Goff on a 2-year deal. And then in his last season, you draft a rookie, and he sits for that entire year. And then you get rid of Goff. You move off him, and you promote the rookie, and there you go.
Yep.
Right? So I don't think it's that far-fetched out of the realm of possibility that Jared Goff actually stays for the full duration of his contract. Not that I want that, but I like what Funky said. 70% is not enough for me, but I could see it being enough for Brad Holmes. Thank you, Funky. I really appreciate that. because that is the exact message I'm trying to send. I may not like it, but I also believe I could totally see it. Brad Holmes saying, I'm going to take another defensive player or the best lineman, D lineman, linebacker, whoever it may be in the future drafts. I'm going to take this guy with a top 10 pick, top 12 pick, and it's going to turn around our roster. Not in the sense of like we're going to be a Super Bowl contender, but we're going to be able to contend for the division, get to the playoffs, maybe win a playoff game. I can do that this year. Why wait? I don't need to draft the quarterback this year. I could totally see that happening. I really could. And again, I don't have to like it. I don't have to like any decision. That doesn't mean they won't be made. Jeff?
I couldn't agree with you. And if we're talking about the conversation, will he be here for the future? I'm talking about future 3 to 5 years, like you said. He's here next year. We know this. The question is my personal belief, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, they're going to want to eventually draft their guy. And not to say Jared Goff isn't Brad's guy already, but Jared's kind of you already know what he is. He's an established product. And he provides a feeling of stability, and that's really the best case for this franchise right now. You have a quarterback who's a good quarterback over the last 4 games. We talked about it earlier. Passer rating of 105.1. The only quarterbacks that have either a higher passer rating or equal passer rating, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and ironically Matthew Stafford. So he's playing good football given the circumstances. Doesn't have his center. Doesn't have his best tight end, TJ Hawkinson. He's missing Quintez. Never had a chance to play with Tyrell Williams. And he looks good. He's throwing touchdown passes to Brock Wright, a rookie tight end, rookie receiver, Josh Reynolds, a guy that the Rams got rid of. So it's honestly, it's great to see him. He's playing really well. And I think, to your point, if Brad Holmes sees the productiveness next year, I don't see why you don't at least give him a chance. Because in my opinion, I see Jared Goff like the Alex Smith of the Chiefs. Not saying he's going to, maybe he does win, 10 games with the Lions. I mean, that's what Alex Smith was doing with the Chiefs. But that whole transition period, you had 2 years, you had Patrick there behind Alex Smith, and when the time was right, you made the change. And I think, if you draft a guy that may not be ready to play right away and you're still trying to contend for your division, why not have the quarterback sit behind Jared Goff? And Jared Goff provides that stability. So I'm a big fan of him. And at least Jared Goff, as of the last couple games, I mean, I'm a big critic of his. We called Jared Goff, he's a bridge quarterback and whatnot, but the guy is stable, and I could see Brad Holmes if he has a good year. Statistically, not having he's having a decent year this year statistically, given what's around him. So you got to give him credit, you got to commend him, but you got to give him praise. But next year, like you said, draft a wide receiver, they make moves in the draft, free agency, and he looks good next year. I could very well see him being, here for another, after just this season, probably 2 to 3 seasons, and then we have that rookie takeover from there.
You got to look at Jared Goff's contract, right? I think we obsess over it maybe a bit too much, right? Because if you want to go get a good quarterback in the market right now, what is it going to cost you? Roughly around what you're getting for Jared Goff. Probably even more. Dak Prescott is getting paid over $40 million. Now, I don't have to like Jared Goff's contract. I don't have to agree with it. But if you're telling me they don't draft a quarterback this year, then they're keeping Goff for the duration, which means in the next draft, which is the draft I think we can all agree you want them taking a quarterback, they will likely take one. And will they sit him for the first year? The Kansas City model. Who knows? I'm for it, to an extent. I don't want Goff to be the future. But I think Detroit, you may have to tolerate him in order to see success. And I mean that genuinely. You may have to tolerate Jared Goff throwing ducks. You may have to tolerate another 2 seasons of Jared Goff before you can hit the well. And that doesn't guarantee anything, unfortunately, because you have to hit the quarterback. This is all predicated on the fact that you hit the quarterback that you selected. It's such a game of, not even inches isn't even the word, centimeters. This amount of decisions that need to be made from now till the next 2-3 years. They will either set the franchise backward, or B, it elevates you to this new standard of football.
Right.
And I think that's very interesting. I really do. I don't see out of the realm of possibility that Jared Goff is the quarterback throughout his duration of his contract. I don't see it being a problem.
Yeah.
Given the strategy, if they don't take a quarterback this year, Jared Goff will be the quarterback in 2023. So when you draft a quarterback in 2023, you sit him for a year, you bring him on full year in the playbook. I mean, there's so many factors in this too, and so much risk. Because you can't afford to be, let's say they finish 2-14-1, okay? And then next year they're 7-10. But then year 3 they're 8-9. Or they regressed and they were 5-12.
Yeah.
You can't regress along this journey. Andy Reid was getting to the playoffs every year.
With Alex, yep.
So be very careful now. You don't want to lose your job being patient. Difference between patience and complacency. Do not be complacent, be patient.
It's like Jimmy and Trey Lance.
Make the correct decisions. Be patient, not complacent. Make the right decisions. You will be rewarded for it. In the NFL, the teams that make consistent good decisions are the teams that are always at the top. And we all knew when the trade for Goff and Stafford happened that he was the bridge quarterback for the next 2 unlikely 3 years. But now 3 years is looking likely. And I don't see them taking a quarterback this year. And if they do, great. That means Brad Holmes found his guy. I can get behind it. Even if I may not agree with it. I can get behind it because he's proven he's excellent at scouting talent. So there's job number 1. Get the quarterback.
Yeah.
When? It's a wait-and-see process here in Detroit, guys. Whew, Jeff. Lots of football, man. Lots of football this morning. Lots of football. The future of Detroit, up in the air at the moment. Who knows? I don't think it's that far-fetched to say Jared Goff plays throughout his whole contract here in Detroit.
Yeah, you could say that and also say that if the Lions, you're not going to expect Jared Goff to be the guy to get the Lions at a promised land. He's still a bridge quarterback, so we can acknowledge that. But it's like you're saying, you could see it happening. It's realistic. It doesn't take away the fact that he's a bridge quarterback and Jared Goff ultimately.
Tony, to answer your question, Adam, how many first-round quarterbacks have been busts versus a win? By my math, honestly, just from not data, but kind of my mindset, 1 out of every 4 or 5 quarterbacks hit in the draft in the first round. There's some seasons where you get 2 in the first round that are really good, and then there's years where you have Mariota and Winston come out. Ryan Leaf, Peyton Manning, 1 of them came out good. 1 out of every 3 quarterbacks in the first round that are picked that high turn out good. 1 out of every 3. And it just so happens, if you want to be successful long term, you need to hit on the quarterback. It sets you up financially for 5 years of a very team-friendly contract, and it sets up your franchise for the next 10, 12, 14 years, depending how long that quarterback plays. We got to go to break. When we get back, how concerned should Pistons fans be with the offensive production? Whew. It's not looking good right now.
No.
Especially Killian Hayes missing out last night. Unfortunate loss to the Knicks. We'll get to that right after the break. But before we go, I got to tell you about the Folding Warehouse. Host your corporate party, team building event, or just come in with family and friends. There are 2 ways to play: $10 unlimited open play, stay the whole time, we are open all day, or a private lane reservation for $120 that hosts up to 10 people. They have over 100 beers, $2 biscuit beer machine, and multiple bars. Bring your own food, have it catered, cook it, I don't care. Have a good time. It's the Folding Warehouse, guys, in Ham, Tramick. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com. That's foldingwarehouse.com.
Thank you, Detroit. Because of your generous donations, this year's Stuff a Studio was a massive success. With the help from our friends at Meyer, Guardian Alarm, and people like you, we were able to send a massive U-Haul filled with toys to Mott Children's Hospital.
I thought it was pretty cool, but more importantly, my daughter had surgery at Mott back in about 2005 for brain surgery. They did a miraculous job for her. As a matter of fact, she's graduated from Michigan State on Saturday.
Oh,
You could never
hey,
tell.
go green, right?
Thank you. And we really want to thank you. I know we're standing in front of this
very large building, but when you look up, this building is full right now with a lot of sick kids that are going to be here through the holidays. And this team is amazing to make sure that they can at least smile during the holidays, and what you guys have done for us will make sure that we're bringing that magic into their hospital room. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Live from Woodward Avenue, that's why we're called Woodward Sports. Detroit's radio sports network.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show, 9:15 in the morning, downtown Birmingham. It's freezing outside. It's the third time I've complained about it, and I will continue, and nobody can stop me. Unless Fish mutes my mic. Pistons, and their offensive struggles. Jeff, what do you make of this?
Well,
and should Pistons fans be concerned?
Yes, they should be concerned. I mean, it's hard. It's a hard question because no, you shouldn't be concerned because you should already know what you're getting with this team. But yes, you should be concerned because you're hoping they figure it out. And I think Troy Weaver will. This team right now is 29th in points per game. They average 100 points. They can't score besides Cade, and we know this. Almost dead last in three-point efficiency. They're shooting an average of 30% from three-point range. They can't shoot, and that's Cade's game. I mean, he needs shooters around him. They're high in points in the paint, obviously. They have Isaiah Stewart, guys that are attacking the basket, but you can't win games always just attacking the basket. It's not 2003. I mean, you have to shoot the ball. So they're going to have to get shooting. That's a given. And especially if you want to build a team around Cade Cunningham. And I'm not going to go here and say, well, the rankings this year, Dwayne Casey, blah, blah, blah. No, this is not the time to put any blame, at least on Dwayne Casey, considering what's around him. This is a guy, like Adam alluded to earlier, proven coach. He's won Coach of the Year before with the Toronto Raptors. I'm not saying he's going to win you an NBA championship, but he's a damn good coach. And he could teach these guys. He's doing a good job so far. So it's not Dwayne Casey. I think it's more so on the personnel. I mean, you have guys, your best shooter is Trey Lyles? I mean, who is your best shooter, arguably? It's a tough question. I mean, Cade Cunningham's really the best shooter. He looks like it. Sadiq's coming alive, obviously. He should be. But it's been tough. I mean, this team's struggling as a unit. So they're going to have to figure it out. You're going to need defense. You're going to need size in the paint. Defensively, 2-point shooting, they're almost dead last. They're giving up tons of points in the paint. They can't stop anybody, especially down low, and that's an issue. You got to be able to. You need a center in this league. Look at all the good teams. They have big men. Everybody does. And, you don't need a Joel Embiid, but you might have a Rudy Gobert, or you might have a Bam Adebayo. You need somebody that can dominate in the paint, and that's not to take anything away from Isaiah Stewart, but I don't see him as a 5. Although he reminds me a lot of Big Ben. He plays hard. He's physical. He doesn't back down from nobody, but it's just not the day and age where you can start a guy who's 6'9" and expect to win 50-plus games and contend for a championship. He's a guy that's going to be a 4, someone who can spread the floor, good defense, and you've seen him. He's improving his outside shot, but this team needs a lot of work, and it's going to have to happen through the draft. Maybe they do land a top 3 pick. Maybe they do get a guy like Paolo or a guy like Chet or a guy like Bird or whatever the case may be. They're going to need to address it, and you saw what Miami did. Miami has a ton of shooters, and that they want their system to be strictly shooters, and it's working out for them. They got guys all over the floor that can spread the floor. They got Bam down low. They got Jimmy facilitating, being that vocal leader on the floor, and they found their recipe. Now the Pistons need to find their recipe. How do you win games? In my opinion, you build a team around Cade Cunningham, leave Dwayne Casey in there. Hopefully you're banking on Killian Hayes, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart to constantly develop, and maybe you get a guy for Jeremy Grant, a piece for him. There's work to do, and I think it's doable, but I think Pistons fans should be concerned because you don't really see a clear direction way out. I mean, you're gonna have to sign shooting. You're gonna have to draft somebody at least top 3 overall to make an impact. Before the season, I thought this team would win at least 25 games, and that's with the talent that was on the team. Now looking at it, they're at 5 wins through almost 30 game sample size roughly. I mean, it's nothing to sit here and complain about, but you got to acknowledge it, Adam. You got to acknowledge a team who's dead last and shooting all over the court. They can't defend anybody in the paint, and they're turning the ball over. So, I mean, it's not ideal. It's really not.
Yeah, I can't think of a team that struggles to shoot the ball more than the Pistons outside of the Lakers. Old, can't shoot. This is a young team. And look, missing your coach last night doesn't help. That never helps. You miss out on a ton of easy baskets coming out of the timeouts, good sets, set defensively, offensively. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is tricky because what I think is Isaiah Stewart either needs to be a better 4 or a role player and you play small.
Yeah.
And he plays 20 to 28 minutes a given night based on needs.
Mm-hmm.
Could go up to 32-30 or 30-32 if you need it, if they have a good 5, Gobert, Embiid, whatever it may be. Cool. But this team has so many holes and so many players that I don't see in the future on the team. You know what I mean? And it's that feeling. It's, you know what? They are 3 years away, realistically. They're not going to sign the top-tier free agents. We all know this. So where do you go? And all I'm asking for from Dwayne Casey offensively is a game plan, something fundamental that you can always fall back and rely on, not iso ball. I'm tired of watching iso ball. I know Cade's great. How about you get him some easy shots? How about you get other people some easy shots? Run them off screens. Hell, take a playbook out of Mark Jackson. Run the elevator screens. I don't care. Try things. You're 5-25. It's not going to kill you. I would appreciate more of an effort. I would appreciate more of an effort in trying to get people open instead of, all right, this is Hayes' turn to kind of facilitate and figure out what we're going to do. Now Cade. Now Sadiq. Oh, we missed out on Grant. Grant's got to get the... That is not an offense.
Yeah.
And they are not all superstars like KD, Steph, and Clay, or KD, Kyrie, and James Harden where they'll make it work. No. They're not superstars. None of them are. The only one with superstar potential is Cade. You can't play basketball this way. Too many threes from a team that can't hit them. Too many jumpers from a team that can't hit them. Not enough free throw lines from a team that's pretty decent at the free throw line. Got to be more aggressive. Got to find ways to get players open on a more consistent basis. And if you can just have that basis of fundamental basketball, the shots, excuse me, God, my voice is done. The shots will fall eventually. That's at least how I see it.
And you're spot on. I think Gerald in the chat brings a great point up because we had Kuan, from Lockdown Pistons, and he talked about the at least not having a true big, not having someone that you can use in the pick and roll. Killian and Cade can't use in the pick and roll. It's almost hindering their development, and I couldn't agree with him more. I mean, Isaiah Stewart, he's great. He's the only pick and roll guy they have, and he's undersized, and he's not a lob threat all the time. They've been trying to implement some of those plays into the game, but once you figure out the pick and roll, and you kind of get these guys into the pick and roll, it's going to open up so much on the outside. It's going to open up shooters. It's going to open up, good looks, drives at a basket, kickouts for Cade and Killian. So that's really what it comes down to, man. I think that's the hammer. The point I'm trying to hammer is you got to address the at least the center situation. You got to figure it out, and you got to have that talk with Isaiah Stewart. I'm sure he's aware as it is. He's just playing center, but you're going to need to find a big, maybe a veteran. Kuz suggested it. You go out and trade for somebody, but it's going to help Cade immensely and Killian. If you have a big who you can work in the pick and roll with. Kelly was supposed to be that guy, but Kelly's been injured, so it's a great point to bring up. They need a big. Well, it's going to solve a lot of issues.
Well, here's something that may cause a lot of problems or may not. Adam Silver came out and said there are no plans, Jeff, to pause or shut down the season due to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see one of the 4 major sports, and we can focus on basketball for now, shutting down?
No. And I know this for a fact because I listened to Adam Silver in an interview yesterday, and they asked him that same question. They said, do you see yourself shutting down? He replied with, no, because I think it's the time now where we have to live with this. And he acknowledges it. We can't go backwards. And I think that's where a lot of these sports, the leagues are. I mean, what do you want us to do? Especially Adam Silver, Roger Goodell. I mean, you're expecting these guys to go backwards. And now it's, the NFL. We're not going to test you if you have a vaccine. Like, there's going to be things that have to be implemented, but no, Adam, I don't see the NBA shutting down. If anything, I mean, they already have they released a statement for Christmas games, and they acknowledge that a possible Christmas games may be rescheduled, and they have a plan in place in case they do. And that's the precautions they're going to have to go through. So they're not canceling anything. They can't afford to cancel anything. I mean, they've went through the whole bubble, and I'm not even talking about the NFL, but just the NBA, the bubble, they're over it, man. I mean, they're over it, and maybe they'll implement what the NFL's doing and not testing guys that are that have vaccines. They may do that as well. So, I don't see them shutting down.
No way they shut down just due to the financial implications.
Yeah.
But you know what? I was really thinking about this. When are we going to accept that the vaccine is working? Just as a society. It's not working perfectly. They've come out with boosters. And what does a booster mean? It means they have more data and they found better ways to fight this disease, whatever virus you want to call it. So if we can accept that the vaccine is working, we shouldn't be having this discussion. And we're going to have to talk about it, unfortunately, in the next topic, because Michigan football announced they will be all taking boosters.
As a team.
As a team. And again, why are you punishing yourselves as a sports league? Why? Vaccinated players are missing out on games because they test positive? Don't put in a mandate and then not, like you gotta be, you can't have it both ways. Either you take the vaccine and you can play, or you can't. Not, you can take the vaccine and play, but if you test positive, you can't play.
Then what's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah.
You see what? And look, I know this is kind of where I want to fall back on is, we understand the data shows the vaccine technically.
Yeah, we get that.
Is preventing death, especially in this age group, right? So you're not getting it as bad once you have the vaccine in you. Cool. Okay, why am I missing basketball games? Why am I missing hockey games? Football games? Baker Mayfield? Why? Why? Why did I take a vaccine and you're still punishing me? Why? Why are we refusing to accept that, one, there is a problem with this disease, and two, that they have a potential solution, and three, you mandated the solution and now are going against it by potentially moving, rescheduling, and canceling games or having players sit out?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? I don't get it, Jeff. I don't see them shutting down either. We got to go to break. When we get back, Michigan football, COVID, they're getting the team. As a team, they're going to be getting the booster. Whew, they play next Friday. Doesn't have any bearing on the football game. I can't wait to talk about this one. But before, I got to tell you about Gypsy vodka. Gypsy is the best tasting, smoothest vodka on the market. Gypsy is gluten-free, corn distilled 6 times using artisan spring water. Support our local brothers here from Michigan. Try a bottle today. Ask for it by the name of Gypsy. And as always, please drink responsibly.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show. I wish you guys could hear Fish during the breaks. We should bring Fish's facts back.
I actually muted the mics that one commercial, so you guys.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Thank you. I wish people heard it though. I really do.
Yeah.
All right. Michigan football expected as a team to take the COVID booster. Jeff, first your initial thoughts. One, what it says about them as a team and heading into Friday, or I should say next Friday. And two, do you see it having any impact? Some cases of a COVID booster, you're down for about 3-4 days. Some people, they're good the next day. Some people don't feel anything at all. Everyone handles it in a different way. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Any problems you see with this?
I don't see any problems. I get the point because they interviewed Andrew Struber. I can't pronounce his name. He's one of the offensive linemen who's doing work this year for the Michigan Wolverines. They interviewed him about this topic. He talked about they're going through extra precautions, and they're worried. They're genuinely worried. And I think that it's not just Michigan. I think all across, not only teams in this college playoff, but across all sports, they're worried. I mean, Michigan, this is a big opportunity for them. In my opinion, good chance to beat Georgia. And they understand that they very well, that all could go out the window if someone tests positive. And that's the worrying part. So I get what they're doing. They're, as a team, they're committing. We're committed. We're going to get the booster shot, boost our chances of going out there and being available. But it stinks that it's to this point now where guys are almost feel like they have to take the booster because they don't have a choice. You have to go through all the precautionary things you can do to be able to play. And Michigan, especially anyone on the offensive line or defensive line, imagine Aiden Hutchinson or someone like that lands COVID and they're out of the game. You lose the game. That's going to stick with you. I mean, that's a big asterisk on that performance, especially because you're like, well, we didn't have this guy. We didn't have this guy. So I commend them. I mean, as a football team, they understand that it's a big moment for them. Georgia, I'm assuming this is going to happen more and more. If not, already other college teams have the booster shot. So it's just them understanding the importance of this moment and them going out and it's just wherever we gotten to, Adam. I mean, teams have to get the booster shot to really just give them a chance to be able to play, and that's where we've gotten today as a society. So I don't blame them, I don't fault them, but it's the reality. I mean, these guys want to be able to play, and if getting a booster shot gives them a better chance of not missing the game, then so be it. But it's going to be interesting because hopefully you still don't land anybody with that lands COVID positive, even with the booster shot. Like, you never know, man. It sucks that we're in this situation.
They're traveling. They're going to Florida.
And Florida has a lot of cases right now. So
they're going to Florida. They're going to be exposed. I mean, look, man. I'm at the point where I don't want to see players miss because they test positive, false or not. Like, it's getting really tiring for me. They're taking the booster, odd timing. I don't know if there's data to prove, like, if you take it a week before, you'll be solid, no chance you test positive. I don't know that information. I don't. What I do know is, seems like everybody is extremely worried about losing their players.
Definitely.
And that is problematic. I don't want to watch the Orange Bowl if Aiden Hutchinson, the Georgia star tight end, the D lineman Davis, I believe.
Don't lie. You're still going to watch even though they're out.
Of course I'm still going to watch.
Okay.
The point is,
wouldn't be the same.
It wouldn't be the same.
No, yeah, I agree.
That, Fish.
Yeah.
Come on.
I agree. But you preface it with, I'm not going to watch. You're going to watch. Who are we kidding?
Yeah, I was being a bit dramatic.
Okay, that's fine.
It's okay. It's okay to be dramatic sometimes.
Listen, sometimes you have to be dramatic.
Remember, it's -4 outside.
My view on their ratings, all right? Leave me alone, Fish.
Okay, I'll try.
Having said that, we got a few minutes to kill. Whew. Fish, I got to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
You just got your COVID booster.
I did.
All right. How are you feeling so far?
Normal. I mean, a little sore arm, but that's fine. I just try to move around. I'm told you're supposed to move your arm around every so often.
Flex on him a little bit.
So other than that, that's about it. I'm not dead. I mean, obviously you can tell I'm not dead because I'm here, but yeah, nothing much. Just simple, just a poke and.
So you felt like that right after as well, like hours after. You haven't really felt like sick or anything after the booster shot.
No.
So you feel good?
No. The sore arm probably kicks in 45 minutes after the shot.
Yeah, and that's all shots.
Yeah.
You start feeling that soreness. Yeah. But, I mean, what other option do they have? I mean, they're in a situation right now where a little bit of desperate, but they understand. They understand. And
I don't think you don't want to miss a single player.
No, you can't.
It's the worst. Because they won't even get to be on the sideline. It's not even like an injury.
Yeah.
You just can't be there.
We saw Trevor Lawrence last year. He was on the sideline versus Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Imagine if he wasn't even there. I mean, it could happen, man. Like Aiden Hutchinson, that's a real possibility. It's a real possibility. Imagine if Bryce Young against Cincinnati is out because of COVID. Like, that changes the entirety of the. That changes my whole outlook.
Bearcats.
Imagine if oh, God, I don't even want to talk about that. But that's just the reality of it, Fish. Aiden Hutchinson, I mean.
Fish, were they able to insert the chip inside you?
If they did, they did a very good job of doing that. They did it pretty quick. Although I have to say something though, they do say it should be a poke and done. It's a little more than like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why aren't they injecting it? So
there you go then. I mean, it's not like a poke and done. It's more like
the
a
antibody
poke,
chips are working.
and then he stabs you, and then you guys get flu shots or any shots. You guys get frustrated when the doctors like fail to put the Band-Aid on.
I get frustrated when they fail to draw blood.
That is frustrating.
Because I get poked like 4 or 5 times, and the vein is right there. I don't know how they miss it.
Just like, give me that. I'll do it.
And then I'm like, I'm not doing it myself because I'll kill myself. I'll probably puncture the vein.
I was more saying when they fail to put the Band-Aid on.
Oh.
Like, you know how they're supposed to put one side of the Band-Aid on, and then all they're supposed to do is just whip it around?
Yep.
Like, they poke you, and then they pick the Band-Aid, and they can't open the Band-Aid. And then they're fumbling around, and they got to take their gloves off. Like, what are we doing here? It should just be a simple slip. Just slide onto your arm.
Yeah, that's what you'd hope so, Fish. I mean, I'm curious now. You got the whole Michigan team with arm pain. You know, they're questionable for next week. No, I'm just joking.
I mean, it goes away after, 48 hours?
Yeah, it'll be good. I just think it was interesting. We had to ask Fish. He's
and
live.
it's not unbearable. Like, I can still move. I can still catch a ball or throw it. I don't throw with my left hand, but if I did,
throw some punches.
I could. It's not unbearable. It's not like, it hurts.
Right. No, I mean, it's the reality, man. I mean, you're probably going to see this a lot more, not even across college football, but more guys are going to get the booster. It's funny because you look back and not trying to change subjects, but how far we've came, and with Kyrie Irving missing the whole season when he didn't take the vaccine, and everyone just looking at Kyrie like, "Are you an idiot?" And now,
whoa, don't.
They're
don't
still
insult
looking
me.
at him like that.
Hey, there's one person on the morning show allowed to insult Kyrie Irving. Me.
That's it.
Only me.
No, usually I do show love, so you're right on that.
Mr. Flat Earth himself.
Flat Earther, and this
All
guy,
right.
He's coming back.
I know he's coming back. He already knocked out half the team with COVID. He's already back. I don't. You know what drives me nuts about Kyrie Irving? Is someone so gifted, so talented, so skilled, so brilliant at the game of basketball. He really is. Sometimes we feel like we need to take this stand, thinking like we're going to make an impact, when in reality, the biggest impact any of you can ever make is at home. Taking care of your home, taking care of your family, raising good children, educating them, brushing your teeth every day. I swear to the little things. Even making your bed. I'm not joking. You want to change the world? Start at home. And as a consequence, over time of you being able to take care of your own home, you'll be able to help others take care of theirs, which will help others take care of theirs, which will help everybody get better. Now, that doesn't mean everybody
Right.
is going to be okay and they're going to fix their problems. No. But why I'm giving you this like motivational Wednesday little spiel right now is Kyrie Irving took a stand and he was so important to him. And although I respect the fact that he stood for it, I don't have to agree or disagree. It doesn't matter to me. But when it involves your profession, your way of making a living, you jeopardize that for a cause, and hey, I respect it. That's really bold of you. But you sure that's what you should be doing right now? Shouldn't you maybe be using all the press media access to spread the information that you want?
Right.
But we'll move on from this. Oh, wow. How long do we got? We got 4 minutes, all right? So for these next 4 minutes, I do want to kind of steer the ship back to one thing, which I think is very important.
Christmas?
We can talk about Christmas tomorrow. You want to talk about Christmas now, Fish?
Doesn't matter.
I want to talk about
my
Ben
favorite
Johnson.
holiday is the next day.
I want to talk about Ben Johnson and company culture. I think it's very important. People perceive that company culture is patting each other on the back, telling everybody how good of a job they're doing, not yelling at people, or not disciplining them, or not communicating in a strict way with them. They believe that culture is everything is great, roses all the time. And when I looked at the Lions, it wasn't roses all the time. Anthony Lynn was not doing a good job, we all admit it. Dan Campbell takes over, run heavy packages, and then Ben Johnson steps in, helps with the pass game planning. And now you have somebody behind the scenes in Ben Johnson. Do you want to let him go away? Do you really want that? I'd like to see him get promoted.
And he sounds like he wants to be here.
Would.
I mean, do you hear that often? Sounds like he wants to be here. So if you want to go try an offensive coordinator out in the offseason, go ahead. But I'm sure they'll have tons of other offers. So if you get a guy in your own home field and Ben Johnson, like your company point, I think it's a great point to bring up. So got to do it. Got to do it, especially if he shows promise. I mean, if
he continues to show growth, progression, and you believe he has potential, you better promote him to OC. That's my theory. That's my logic. That's my take. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And at companies, you need to understand that promoting within is necessary. It sends a message to everybody. There is something for me to work towards too in the future here. I don't have to look elsewhere. I have a future here.
Mm-hmm.
That's the message that a Ben Johnson promotion would send. And I'm all for it. But we got to go to break. When we get back, fantasy football talk, because two people in this room, I don't know who, are in the fantasy final for the Woodward Sports Network. Whew. All the people that talk trash before the season in the chat, behind the closed doors here at Woodward Sports, in the back room. You guys don't know anything about football. You don't know anything about fantasy. I've been winning for fantasy in 10 years. Yeah, so has everyone and my mother. Yeah, two people in this room beat everybody at Woodward Sports, finish with the two best records in the league, and find themselves playing each other in the final. How ironic and funny is that? We will get to it after the break.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
The Woodward Sports Fantasy Football League, featuring 10 of Woodward Sports' most outstanding football minds. Tom Mazaway, Jeff Iafrady, myself, Adam Beydoun, Sam Stick Day, Alex Mayer.
We had a bunch of other people in there, too.
Other people as well.
Yeah.
Kennedy Broadwell.
I didn't know if you were going to name all the
Some of the best
people.
football minds that have ever walked this earth. Ben Sasson. I can't forget Easy.
Yeah, you got them all.
Some of the best players. Yeah, two people finished 11-3 and 10-4 in the regular season. 11-3 being Jeff Iafrady and 10-4 being myself. And these two champions are in the final of the Woodward Sports Fantasy League. How funny is that? I love that. I love that the morning show took down everybody in the network. I love that.
Yeah, I love
and
it.
I am all for it.
Can I ask you who was trash talking?
I am absolutely going to keep trash talking.
No. Who?
Everybody was, especially during the draft.
I know Maz was. That's not a shocker.
Easy, Ben, even Stick was talking. Everybody was talking trash. It wasn't just one person. Everybody was talking trash. I'm so good at fantasy football. I've been winning for 10 years.
Who is that, Stick?
No chance against me.
Is that Stick?
I don't know who it is. I'm just, it's kind of a mixture of everybody,
Yeah, it's a
honestly.
mixture
And
of
I'm
everybody.
sick, so this is like a new accent for me. Yo, you don't have a chance. I'm going to draft the best players. 5-time champion. Never lost a game of fantasy football in my life. Know what I'm doing. Bunch of losers. Losers! That's what I call them, losers. 11-3 Jeff, 10-4 myself. He beats Stick in the semifinals. I beat Alex Mayer.
With Jonathan Taylor. And
I beat the commish.
Beat the commish.
Who had Cooper Kupp. And I still beat him.
Took down two good players, man. Took down two MVP
Jeff
candidates.
and Adam, starting tomorrow, play each other in the final. And I am all for it. All for it. I love it.
Is it going to be close or is it going to be a blowout?
It's actually projected to be really close.
It is? Okay.
I hope it's close.
It's going to be close.
I would prefer not to be a blowout whether I win or he wins.
Yeah.
But I know that whatever happens, the trophy that we buy for the Woodward Sports Fantasy League.
Oh, we have a trophy.
It's going to be sitting right there. And if I continue to make my run,
couple of thousand
I'm
over
gonna
there.
have my trophy and my thousands of dollars sitting right here.
So do we
to start
have
the show in January?
Did we plan this correctly? Do we actually have a trophy? Or do
We
we
will
have
have a trophy.
Okay.
Don't worry, Fish. You think
Okay.
I was gonna let everybody walk away like the losers they were? And not have a trophy to remind them every single day that they actually thought they were better than all
Well,
of
no,
us in
I just
fantasy
didn't know if you
football?
had a trophy ready.
Get the hell out of here!
You should have that engraved.
Get it out of
Hey,
here!
can we revisit what you... Okay, I know you guys wanted more teams in the playoffs, but to my advantage.
Doesn't mind to me.
You didn't mind. I thought you wanted to be in the playoffs. You wanted the 16.
I mean, sure, it'd be fine if I was in the playoff, but I'm not in the playoffs. No,
it benefited me, Fish.
But
it really did.
I'm not a hardy fantasy football fan. Like some of these people at our office, Adam, Stick, they're like really on their fantasy football.
Well, Adam, this is your second league, so you haven't really. I mean, you're checking in on it, but I feel like
I took this league very seriously.
Okay,
this year.
I was gonna say,
I gave it my full attention. I picked up players, dropped players. I did everything. I did my due diligence because it wasn't fair to the league if I was just somebody on the sidelines letting people win. And I saw you guys. I saw all of you.
Mm-hmm.
I won't call you out on the show.
Oh, you should.
But I saw all three of you who were out of playoff contention very early on. And you coasted the rest of the way. You stopped talking your shit. I saw it. I remember it. And I can't wait to bring this trophy here.
The only person
it's guaranteed. The trophy's going to be on the morning show. It's guaranteed. Now, all we need left is my trophy and my money.
Yep.
Right next to me from my other league. And then we have a complete show.
Are you in the semis in your other league?
In my money league, I am in the semifinals.
Okay. Look at someone put the Sparty logo on the trophy, so Adam has to choose to either show off his award or ban it.
I will gladly have the Sparty logo on it. I don't care because it belongs to the Morning Woodward show. All right?
There you go. Preach.
The Morning Woodward show is walking away.
No athletes. We don't have
with
no
the fantasy
athletes.
Football championship.
We didn't play in the NFL.
Athletes.
We didn't play in the NFL.
Didn't play D1.
Didn't play D1.
Didn't play D2.
Didn't play D2.
By the way, wasn't this fantasy football work thing kind of sprung on us at the last minute? Or was it planned?
Well, yes, but everyone had like almost 10, 12 days to prepare for the draft.
Okay.
The draft was a long, lengthy
So that goes
process
up to my next question. I'm assuming we're going to have a 2022 season.
Yep.
The commissioner. Are we
Likely
keeping
the
him,
commissioner
fire him?
will be Alex Mayer.
I
okay.
I will give him a chance to redeem himself.
Oh,
We will set up rules in advance with him. We'll organize it. It'll be much more organized. And
nice Adam.
Maybe next year, Woodward Sports will sponsor a prize pool on top of the trophy. Add some money involved.
Are you saying like pay to get in or pay to win?
No, pay to win, not pay to get in.
Okay.
Maybe I put it out of my pocket.
Oh, boy.
Who knows?
Now we know where all your betting money's going to.
Hey, listen, I'll do whatever it takes for the network. Will I get invited? You will get an invite next year.
Yeah.
I feel awful, especially because he is a fellow Najee Harris.
Yeah,
So can I bring that up? Because, Alex, all you had to do was say you wanted to come in and we would have opened you in.
No, Art, considering Art's in the league and he doesn't even check his phone. Alex would at least check his phone. All right, shout out to you, Art. But the man didn't start anybody last 6 weeks.
I teamed up with Justin because the draft was at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got to get up at 6:30 and go to bed at 9.
I got to give you guys credit because I think you guys did a pretty damn good job. Not only finding guys in free agency, but like trading. I mean, you botched me. You screwed me earlier in the year and stealing away Keenan Allen from me for Calvin Ridley. And I was stupid enough to look Justin in the face and say, you know what? I kind of like that trade. I like Calvin Ridley. You can have Keenan Allen because I had high hopes for Calvin Ridley. Prayers to him, though. He's obviously going through the mental health thing. But, yeah, you screwed me, Fish. So, Justin technically did. But you guys did a good job, I thought. I mean, you guys had a good team. You had you had the Justin Herbert. You had Keenan Allen. You had a pretty damn good team.
We had Joe Burrow, who didn't play once.
You had Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. So, you know what?
I'm going to extend an olive branch to Alex Mayer. Because I know it was a tough year for him.
Okay.
Okay. He lost to me in the semifinals. I know that was heartbreaking. He's been under the weather a little bit. When we bring home the trophy, I will allow him to present it on the table as the commissioner. He will be allowed to present it live on the Morning Woodward show.
Okay. Do you understand that it's 9:49?
I don't care. He's going to show up.
It's a big moment, Fish.
I don't care.
It's a big
He's
event.
the commissioner. He needs to hand out the trophy, just like Roger Goodell does. And when I went in the other fantasy league, Wasim is splitting the money with me.
Oh.
And me and him are going to take a nice golf trip late in January. And we're going to go enjoy ourselves.
Are you
and
on a team with him?
Huh?
Are you on a team with him? Or?
No, we're in the league. He's the commissioner of my league.
Oh, he's commissioner. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, commissioner. I forgot.
He's the commissioner
gets
of the
a
league.
little bit of money. Yeah, I forgot about that. Good for you guys.
Having said that, we got to go to break. When we get back, everybody in the chat, please, for God's sake, stop talking about COVID. Love all of you. Maybe there's one of you in the chat, 2, 3, 4 max, who are actual. I don't even care if you're doctors. Honestly, at this point, let it go, guys. It's not worth it. It's almost impossible to change someone's mind, especially in a chat on a YouTube forum. It's not going to happen. Trust me. Let it go. Get your questions ready because we got to talk sports at 9:51. Come back from the break. Mailbag. Get your questions lined up. If you guys want to call in,
do it.
Call in. Be my guest. Would love to talk and chat with all of you. 313-552-6322. That's 313-552-6322. D-Mac, just put it in the chat. Call in. Ask your questions. Conversate. Do whatever you'd like. We'll be right back after the break.
Thank you, Detroit. Because of your generous donations, this year's Stuff a Studio was a massive success. With the help from our friends at Meyer, Guardian Alarm, and people like you, we were able to send a massive U-Haul filled with toys to Mott Children's Hospital.
That was pretty cool, but more importantly, my daughter had surgery at Mott back in about 2005 for brain surgery. They did a miraculous job for her. As a matter of fact, she's graduated from Michigan State on Saturday. You could never
Hey,
tell.
go green, right?
Thank you. And we really want to thank you. I know we're standing in front of this very large building, but when you look up, this building is full right now with a lot of sick kids that are going to be here through the holidays. And this team is amazing to make sure that they can at least smile during the holidays, and what you guys have done for us, we'll make sure that we're bringing that magic into their hospital room. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
The Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Mailbag time. Are the Pacers the worst ran organization in the NBA? So, Lockerbie, I'm assuming you're from the area, that you're so well informed on the Pacers, or you're a Pacers fan. You would have to you would have to answer that for me. I don't know. If what you said earlier in the chat is true, though, where you said that the owner refuses to build a championship team, he does not even want to go into a rebuild, he's not interested, that is concerning to me. That is what I would call really bad ownership. But I would let you answer that. I don't think I could or should be the one to answer that question for you. We do have someone on the line. Can we get a camera on Fish? Fish, could you tell us who is on the line? Give us a little brief intro.
Yes, we have Abe on the line.
Abe?
Yes, Abe.
Awesome.
And he is ready to talk some sports. He has some questions for the lovely panel from the Morning Woodward Show. And he is on the air.
All right, Abe, how you doing, buddy? Do you hear him, Jeff?
What's up, brother? You good?
All right, cool.
How you doing, Abe? Hello?
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yep, now we hear you. We got you.
Now we hear you.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool.
Oh, cool. All right.
Fantastic. I got such a beef with you guys right now.
Uh-oh.
Tell us about it.
Love you too, man.
Yeah. Why is your finals this week when everyone else with the week 18 is now in week 17?
Because our commissioner is an absolute dumpster fire, which is why I've been calling him out for the last 3 weeks. Because he made it a 14 playoff and a 10-man league when it should have been a 12-man league and a 6 to 8 playoff. Like, look, I'm with you. It's BS. But damn it, this is the reality. So no excuses. Morning Woodward is in the final. I don't care what anybody says.
Put an asterisk next to it.
This is garbage. It's garbage and you know it.
It's garbage for the losers that couldn't win enough games to get into the playoffs.
Hey, you guys playing DJ Moore this week? I think I got to bench him.
I have DJ Moore on my team, and I'm hesitating on it. That's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, he's been struggling. He came out the gates really strong, but Abe, I'm assuming there's like a huge delay.
Cam sucks.
Cam does suck. I do agree. But Abe, do you have any other questions, bud?
There is a huge delay.
Yeah, there's
No,
a huge
I'll talk
delay.
to you guys later.
All right,
appreciate
thanks
you,
so
Abe.
much for calling in, bud. But yeah, all right, let's continue Look, guys, don't look at me when it comes to this fantasy football. Look, just because we're good at it, doesn't you losers should have won more games. You're crying about you're not in the playoffs? Win more games. Win more games.
Hey,
don't draft garbage players.
We played the hand that was dealt. All right, it was dealt, and
be better.
Be better. Be better. I like that. Let's get to the. I saw people posting questions. I want to get to. All
right.
Adam dropped
What
one
do you
in
got?
here.
What's my favorite sports moment?
Let me. I want you to answer this one. It'll be funny. Who would you rather have as a sibling, Jackson Mahomes or Kelly Stafford?
Kelly Stafford.
Okay, I think we agree there.
Kelly Stafford all day because she'll get married. She'll leave me the hell alone.
Yeah.
I'll never have to worry about it. I can delete my social media.
Yep.
Jackson Mahomes, I would run through a brick wall. I may jump off the Empire State Building. I might swim to Alcatraz.
I don't blame
I'll
you.
figure out something. I will kill myself.
I do not blame
Having said that, Adam, what's your favorite pro sports moment? That's tough. So the Wings winning the cup was a big deal for me in my childhood. That was outside of the Pistons in 2004.
Yeah.
I hadn't really seen anything at that level. That like when the Pistons won in 2004, I was still very young, but I understood what was happening. I was so excited. But I was kind of like, teens years in 2008, 2009. Won the chip, went back to the final, lost in Game 7. It's like, oh man, like that was definitely like a big sports time for me, or at least like a sports moment. One of the best moments, just a capsule in time I had, was watching Barry Sanders against Pittsburgh Steelers at the Silverdome. That was a big one for me with my dad. So I can't name you just one though.
Yeah, Detroit sports, I couldn't agree with you. It's definitely the Red Wings. For me personally, across all sports, I'll never forget watching 2016 finals and watching LeBron James come back down 3-1. I watched every game of that series, and that's probably the best series I've ever watched, just because of how the momentum and all the drama involved. So it's got to be my favorite sports moment.
Yeah, people are saying the Knicks are the worst organization over the Pacers. I can buy into that.
Yeah, because of where they are. I mean, it's New York, baby. I mean, you gotta. If you're that bad for that long in a big city like that, you gotta look in the mirror, man. You gotta look in the mirror.
All right, let's see the next question. Question for everybody: what is everybody's favorite holiday traditions? I will tell you what. When I was a kid, Adam, my family would always have Christmas in Chicago. We'd visit our aunt. My entire mom's side would go. We'd all spend the night at her house. We'd spend a weekend, actually. It was some of the best memories I had with my cousins growing up. That was always a great tradition. Unfortunately, everybody got older, more kids. It's more difficult. But the tradition that never goes away is having a family dinner.
There you go.
Every year with everybody from the family.
Mm-hmm.
That is a tradition I'm like really proud of and happy with that my parents and their siblings and their spouses all were able to put together. I mean, that's a big deal for me. Being able to spend time with family on the holidays is probably the most important part for me. How about you?
I couldn't agree more. It's definitely family. I'm Italian. It's a big preach in our family how important family is, and you look at just Christmas. I mean, it's the time where everybody, and Thanksgiving as well. It's the time where everybody gets together. That guys and girls, aunts and uncles, cousins, friends. You may not see a lot during the year, but Christmas, Thanksgiving, find a way to always reunite. So it's got to be family for me. Do you think this DC experiment is the last straw for the William Clay Ford ownership
so Jason,
of the team?
I'm going to tell you what. No, it's not the last straw, even if it's an utter disaster. Jason, if you own the Lions, I don't care how bad of an owner you were, you would not sell the team. It prints money. It sets up generations upon generations upon generations. Not even a question. They will never sell. I'm not into the crowd that say they should sell or that they have to sell. No, stop.
Be better.
When you have that, it's a conglomerate. It's out of the realm of possibility. I don't even want to talk about it. It's really infuriating actually because like people latch onto this hope like if we don't show up to the stadium, they're going to sell. You could have done that in the 80s, 90s maybe. TV money, guys. Sorry. It does hurt their pockets, but that's not the way to go about it. You still support the team because you root for the team, not the ownership. You only root for ownership when they treat you well, when you have a good relationship with them. But stop going to the games. I don't see the value in that. You have tickets. Go watch the team play. That's the team you support. You support them through thick and thin, and it's been a lot of thick. It's been a lot of bad stuff. but that doesn't mean you just don't support, even with ownership. Stop the nonsense talk about selling the team. We got to go, guys. Thank you so much. I am so sorry for today. Not on my A game. I feel awful. I wish I could have been a little better.
You're a trooper, man. You've been killing it.
I really do apologize. Thank you so much for putting up with me. Thanks for putting up with Jeff. Remember, Morning Woodward Show will be bringing home the championship regardless of what happens. Suck it to everybody at the Woodward Sports Network. Internally, love all of you, but suck it.
Okay,
Everybody,
sounds fair.
That's my sign-off. Have a great day.
Oh, wow.